Well, now we can take some of what we've been learning about midpoints and use a little algebra to find some measures. So in this first problem here, it says find the measure of YZ, segment YZ, if Y is the midpoint of XZ and XY is equal to 2X minus 3 and YZ is equal to 27 minus 4X. All right, well, I got to do it. I want to draw a segment. All right, so Y is the midpoint of segment XZ. So that means I've got an endpoint here at X. I've got an endpoint here at Z. And Y is the midpoint. All right, so then I'm told that XY, well, this portion of the segment right here, XY is equal to 2X minus 3. And YZ, this portion, is equal to 27 minus 4X. And I'm asked to find YZ. But the only way that I can find YZ is I'm going to have to find the value of X. So let's see here. Well, XY and YZ, if Y is the midpoint, they got to be equal to each other. So let's set both of these equations equal to each other and solve for X. So I got 2X minus 3 equals 27 minus 4X. And once I find a value for X, I can plug that back into this equation right here and find the value of YZ. All right, so why don't we add 3 to both sides? And let's add 4X to both sides. Okay. Well, let's see. 2X plus 4X is equal to 6X. Negative 3 is going to cancel. 27 plus 3 is going to equal 30. And the negative 4X and the 4X are going to cancel. And we're going to divide both sides of this equation by 6 to isolate the X. And so X is equal to 5. Now I can substitute in 5 for X if I'm trying to find what the segment YZ is equal to. I'm going to substitute 5 for X, and so that's going to make this 27 minus 4 times 5. Well, 4 times 5 is 20. So now we got 27 minus 20. And 27 less 20 is equal to 7. So segment YZ is equal to 7. Now, if I wanted to double check myself, if that's true, if I substitute in 5 for X into what XY was, 2X minus 3, that should also equal 7. Well, let's see, 2 times 5 is 10, minus 3, 7, 7 and 7. Okay, everything looks cool. I need just a little bit more practice. This one a little bit. Find the value of X. Now this time all I got to do is find the value of X. If C is the midpoint of AB, well again, I'm going to just draw a segment. C is the midpoint of AB, so here's A, here's B, there's segment AB. C is the midpoint, so it's going to be right about there. And let's see, AC equals 4X plus 5. So this part, I'm going to switch to a different color. This part of the segment is equal to 4X plus 5. And AB, the entire segment, is equal to 78. So this whole thing is equal to 78. Well, that would mean that AC plus CB is going to equal AB. So this is going to be plus this, 4X plus 5 plus whatever C plus B is. and that should all equal 78, and then I can find the value of x. Well, C's the midpoint. So that means that this portion, CB, should also be equal to 4x plus 5. Well, let's set our equation up this way. So let's say I take 2 times AC, which is 4x plus 5, and set that equal to 78. And I could put 4x plus 5 plus 4x plus 5, but this is the same thing. I'm going to distribute the 2 to the 4x, that gives me 8x. Distribute the 2 to the 5, that gives me plus 10. And that's still equal now to 78. We're going to divide, let's subtract 10 from both sides. So that 8x is now equal to 68. And let's divide both sides by 8. So that x is going to equal, let's see, 8 will go into 68. Go in there 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. We've got a remainder of 4. So it's going to be 8 times 4 over 8, or 8 and a half. And I'm going to write it in decimal form, 8 and a half. So x is equal to 8 and a half. All right, let's see. Well, let's see. What is, if I put in 8 and a half for x, 4 times 8 is 32, and 1 half times 4 is 2, so that means that 4x plus 4x is equal to 32, no, 34, 34 plus 5 is 39, and 2 times 39 is 78. Shazam, I'm pretty well convinced that that is correct, using algebra to find measures, my favorite part of geometry. Geometry is about thinking.